Okay, year two. This week we have learned about making equal groups. And we learned how to do it using two different methods. And today we're going to be comparing making equal groups through sharing and making equal groups through grouping. So first we're going to look at some get ready questions, and we need to look out for whether the question is asking us to group or whether the question is asking us to share, because that will tell us which method we're going to use when we have a go. So have a look here. Can you look at question 1? If we group 9 apples into groups of 3, how many groups will we have? Well, it's definitely a grouping question. All the words in there say group, so we know that we have to think in terms of groups. So we have 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, and 3 groups of 3. There are 3 groups, all with 3 in. Question 2. This time we're sharing. We've got 8 flowers to share between 4 vases. So I'll put 1 in each vase. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've used 4 flowers. Now I'll put another in each vase. And I've used all 8 flowers. 2 flowers in each vase, shared equally. Question 3, again, another sharing question. Which calculation represents 8 flowers shared between 4 vases? Is it 8 divided by 4 equals 2 or 8 divided by 2 equals 4? Yes, that's right. It's 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And that's because we were sharing 8 flowers between 4 vases. We're sharing, so the second number in the calculation is how many we are sharing between. Okay, we're now going to take a good look at comparing both sharing and grouping. Let's see. We're going to start with this number sentence, 10 divided by 2. So the first thing I'll do is get 10 counters. When I share, the 2 in the number sentence tells me how many I've got to share between. I have 10 counters to share between 2. So here's 2 circles, and I'm going to share 10 counters evenly between the 2 circles. I know when I'm sharing that the last number will be how many each group gets once all the items have been shared equally. So 10 divided by 2 equals 5. I have 5 counters in each circle, so the answer is 5. The other way of dividing is using grouping. Again, I have 10 counters, and this time I look at the 2, and I know it tells me how many I need to put in each group. I'm going to make groups of 2, which I've done. I know when I'm grouping that the last number will be how many groups I've made. So 10 divided into groups of 2 is equal to 5, because I've got 5 groups. Same answer, but different methods. So we're going to look at 6 divided by 3. Another example. Pause the video and have a go yourself at sharing and grouping. It'd be good to get 6 counters or 6 small objects. Okay, how'd you get on? Did yours look like this? Let's see. I'm going to get 6 counters, and when we're sharing, I've drawn 3 circles to make it really clear. And I've shared my 6 counters equally between the 3 circles, and there are 2 counters in each. When I'm grouping, I've got my 6 counters, and I've drawn groups around 3 counters because I'm doing 6 divided by 3, and I've drawn a group around another 3 because I'm doing 6 divided by 3. I've made groups of 3 counters, and look how many groups? That's right, there's 2. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Okay, we've had a good look now at 6 divided by 3, and we've completed the calculation using sharing and grouping. When we shared, we made 3 sets with 2 counters in each set, and when we've grouped, we've made 2 groups with 3 counters in each group. Both sharing and grouping have the same calculation. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. The difference comes when we think about what the numbers represent. This 3 represents how many groups we are sharing between. So we've got 3 sets of groups. Whereas this 3 represents how many are in each group. There are 3 counters in each group. The 6 always represents the whole, the total amount of counters we are dealing with, which is 6 in both examples. And finally, the 2 represents how many counters are in each group when we are sharing. And when we're grouping, it tells us how many groups we can make. So, year 2, I want you now to go and look at the slides and look at the example on the slide and do the division number sentences in both using grouping and using sharing.